Greetings, everyone. I am Pete Pardo from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to pick number 7 of my favorite 31 hard rock and heavy metal albums of the 70s countdown. We've been doing it all month long. We are in the final week. This is pick number 7, 6 more to go after today. Each and every day, we've been picking one of our favorites from the 70s, the hard and heavy albums. Myself, I have limited myself to a maximum of 2 albums by any one band to kind of increase the playing field quite a bit. You guys can do whatever you like, though, in the comments below. If you want to pick multiple albums, more than 2 from one band, that's totally cool, too. But before we get started, I do want to give a shout-out to someone. So it has been brought to my attention that long-time Sea of Tranquility fan and subscriber Kevin Connell has been in the hospital recovering from major surgery. His daughter, Kylie, reached out to me a couple of days ago and said that he has been, since he got out of ICU, he's been sitting in his hotel room making sure he watches all episodes of Sea of Tranquility as he's recovering. He's gotten the nurses into the channel as well, which is really cool to hear. So I want to give a shout out to Kevin. Kevin, I hope you get better real soon. You get back home and continue on your love of the channel. It's your support is greatly appreciated. So if everybody could give some well wishes to Kevin in his recovery, quick and speedy one to you, Kevin. Hope to see you back home soon. All right, take care. And Kylie, thanks for reaching out to us. And with all that being said, today let's take a look at our pick of the day. So this particular album was the 8th studio album from this band. Okay. This was released February 15th, 1974, recorded at Montreux Studios in Switzerland with help from the Rolling Stones Mobile Studio. Produced by the band for Purple Records. I'm talking about Burn by Deep Purple. Of course, had to be Burn, right? So, of course, this is the album, the newly reconfigured Deep Purple. Out goes Ian Gillan and Roger Glover. In comes Glenn Hughes, fresh from Trapeze. He was singing lead vocals and playing bass for Trapeze. He was brought into Deep Purple initially to do the same role, but then they decided they wanted to go with a dual vocal attack, so Glenn would be playing bass and singing lead and backing vocals. His partner in crime, the unknown David Coverdale, was brought in, okay, to add that kind of bluesiness to the vocal slot. A little bit different than Ian Gillan. Actually, a lot of different from Ian Gillan. Rounding out the lineup, of course, Ritchie Blackmore on guitar, John Lord on keyboards and synthesizers and piano and all sorts of things, and Ian Pace on the drums. Martin Birch, I do want to mention, engineered and mixed this album. So Martin Birch had his hand in quite a lot of the Deep Purple / Rainbow and Whitesnake stuff from this time period. Well, Whitesnake is later on, obviously, and the Rainbow stuff is later on, but Martin Birch was heavily involved in what was going on in the studio with the band at this time. So, of course, some classics on this particular album. Spoiler alert, it's my second favorite Deep Purple album of all time. So, yeah, you're going to see Deep Purple again on this list. Of course, the title track is one of the great heavy rock songs of all time. Burn is just a absolute classic. It has forever been one of my favorite Purple songs. It's forever been one of my great heavy songs. Burn is just absolutely terrific. That riff at the beginning, man, the whole song, the way it's pieced together is so good. That solo in the middle is good. I've said it many times, as much as I love the studio version, my favorite version of Burn is actually the Made in Europe live version. To me, that is the ultimate version of Burn right there, but it's such a great song. Then you got the kind of funky Might Just Take Your Life. You got the frantic, fast-paced Lay Down, Stay Down, and then, of course, the slow burn of Sail Away. I love the atmospheric, kind of percolating arrangement on Sail Away. So good. Very, very cool, underrated song. Then, of course, on side 2, you have the fast, furious, deep, grinding, heavy You Fool No One. Live, they would take that song and stretch it out to epic proportions, allowing for a John Lord solo and a Ritchie Blackmore solo. You Fool No One is so good, so good. What a great vocal on that one, too. Great back and forth between Coverdale and Hughes, and that's kind of the thing, with this lineup, man. You had that great dual vocal thing going on, which I just always really loved. Then What's Going On Here? Okay, that's more of a kind of bluesy track, right? Good song. Not one of my favorites on here, but it's a good song. And then, of course, the epic slow blues of Mistreated with some killer vocals from Coverdale. Amazing guitar work from Blackmore, another highlight of this album. And then the instrumental to finish it all off, A200, right? Band didn't do many instrumentals, but when they did, they generally were pretty good, as this one was. A lot of great keys from John Lord on this particular one, and a nice guitar solo from Richie. So, yeah. So, let's look at charting positions for this beloved album, right? So, we've got in Australia, number 7. Austria, number 1. Canada, number 7. The Danish charts, number 1. The Dutch charts, number 7. In Finland, number 5. France, number 4. Germany, number 1. Italy, Sala made it to number 3. In Japan, number 11. Norway, number 1. In the UK, number 3. The US Billboard charts, number 9. This was a big album for the band. All right. Certifications. In France, gold, 100,000 units sold. Germany, gold, 150,000 units sold. Sweden, gold, 50,000 units sold. UK, gold, 100,000 units sold. And in the United States, gold, 500,000 units sold as of the last certification process. So, yeah, it's a great one. It's a great, great album by a great, great band. You know, the Mark III era of the band. I talked to a lot of people about Deep Purple, and it's amazing. You know, most people generally consider the Mark II to be the classic lineup, but there's so much love for the Mark III era of the band. And, you know, Stormbringer's a really good album, too. It's not quite Burn. But, you know, those two produced two, in my opinion, really magical albums. And then, of course, that great live album Made in Europe. And there's so many other live albums that have come out in subsequent years that target this lineup in either this tour or the Stormbringer tour that have some great performances. This was a really good live band, really good live band. And once again, you know, they stretched things out like every lineup of Deep Purple in the 70s. They played these, you know, long versions of songs. And while I will say that I never really fully got on board with this version of Purple playing the Mark II stuff, for whatever, you know, Ian Gillan is a hard guy to replicate, and it just to me never sounded 100% acceptable to hear Coverdale and Hughes singing the Ian Gillan sung songs. But, you know, you kind of had to, right? They had to do Smoke on the Water. They had to do, you know, you got to do a couple of Highway Star. You got to do Space Truckin', right? But for my money, it's like, you know, it's almost like just do one and do a couple extra of your own songs would have made more sense to me. But, you know, I wasn't around to make those decisions for them. I was around, but I was too small, you know. So, and they didn't ask me. So, anyway, Burn is my pick for today. Let us know what you think of this classic album down in the comments below, as well as your pick for today. Pick number 7. We'll be right back at you tomorrow with pick number 6. Till then, visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube all together all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as it posts. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also, down below, we get the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations as well as our merch page. So thanks in advance for all your support there. And we'll see you later on. Of course, we got the Monsters Den coming up tonight. So tune in tonight for another fun show with the gang, talking about bands, prog metal bands, fusion bands who never quite topped that debut album. We did a similar episode on the Hudson Valley Squares, I don't know, a month or two ago. We're doing it on the Prog Seat tonight, so stay tuned for that. And much more this week. Tomorrow, of course, is a new album review day, so stay tuned for that. We've got, let's see, Friday morning at the Funhouse with Martin Popoff coming up later this week. Saturday is the UK Connection. And then on Sunday, we've got another Ranking the Albums episode. Myself and Rick Labonte will be ranking the catalog of Winery Dogs. Mike Portnoy, Billy Sheehan, and the great Richie Kotzen on guitar, right? Also, we got the Curse of the Collector coming up this weekend as well. So lots happening this weekend. So stay tuned for all that and more. I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.